A lot of times, Super Bowl week leading up to the NBA Finals, World Series, say, hey, should we do a factor on, or a segment on the X Factor? And it's always, oh, that's an interesting segment idea. Because a lot of times in the history of sports, you've seen sort of someone unheralded, a substitute, who's that guy?
Larry Brown in the Super Bowl for the Cowboys.
Yeah, like, wow, came out of nowhere and was the most important player. So, but then it's like, do we really want to spend some time talking about people that know Scott Brocious for the Yankees? Should we really dedicate time to that? And you solved it by putting the quarterback as the X Factor. We're out of our minds. And as you know, I'm a fan of the comments because I serve the audience. Not like you guys, vice versa. You think the audience serves you? So I'm reading the comments, and there's a comment that I haven't addressed. And it's a shot at you, Brew, unfortunately.
Oh.
It was after the NFC Championship game. And do you remember your opening thesis statement? I feel bad putting you on the spot, but we have to serve the audience. You said something to the extent of, and I don't want to misquote you, so I'll just, something to the extent of, it didn't feel like a 32-point victory. It was a 32-point victory in which Jalen Hurts had 4 touchdowns. If it was reversed, if the Commanders had won, and Jaden Daniels had 4 touchdowns, we'd be like, what are we going to do about Jaden Daniels against the Chiefs? This guy's electric. This guy just keeps winning. This guy can do whatever it takes to win. But instead, it's Jalen Hurts like, X Factor. Last time he played the Chiefs in the regular season, they were down 10 in halftime. He scored, I think he scored 2 in the game. I think he scored in both in the second half. Anyways, they won in Arrowhead, as you talked about. Last time in the Super Bowl, again, he had 4 touchdowns. We're going to have to wrap our heads around that fact that Jalen Hurts is indeed in the Super Bowl, does score touchdowns, maybe doesn't air it out, which he doesn't necessarily have to because he's kind of playing like Mahomes, everybody. They both aren't airing it out.
No, he's not playing anything like Mahomes.
Joe Burrow's
Hold on. He's not playing anything like Mahomes. Here's why.
Running, defense.
He's going to show his graphic.
No, I'm not going to show the graphic.
No, wow.
Here's the thing. The reason people can feel however they want about whether the tush push should be allowed, not allowed. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Here's what I know about how people feel about the tush push. They mentally don't give Jalen Hurts the same credit for those touchdowns that guys get for other rushing touchdowns. I know it because the tush push touchdowns in the NFC Championship game, nobody walked out of that game feeling like Jalen Hurts had a dominant performance even though he had 4 touchdowns. The Super Bowl against the Chiefs, people do not bring up the fact that he had 2 tush push touchdowns. They bring up that he threw for 300 yards.
When Josh Allen dives over the pilot, wow. He's Superman.
By the way, Wilds, I think that some of that, for me, some of the Allen, like first player ever with 3 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns, there was a tush push little asterisk on that in my head, which is different than a guy from the 8-yard line surveying the field, not seeing anything and running it in. So that again, fair or not, I think that's how football fans view it.
Fair or not, what about Patrick Mahomes literally walking into the end zone untouched with some of his touchdowns? How about that? Or are you going to talk about any of the other Jalen Hurts touchdowns that weren't tush push? Or like a 40-yard touchdown run in the playoffs during a blizzard? Are you going to talk about that? Are you going to talk about that? Jalen Hurts fighting for a 2-point conversion, not using a tush push in the Super Bowl. Are you going to talk about that? Are you going to talk about all the other times that Jalen Hurts uses his legs to also pick up first downs that are not tush pushes? Are you going to talk about that? What about all the times that Patrick Mahomes gets to throw to wide open receivers? Wide open receivers. Travis Kelce was wide open versus the Houston Texans and had an insane amount of yak. They literally talked about it on the broadcast. So do we mentally take that away from Patrick Mahomes? We saw Mahomes literally have a walk-in touchdown, multiple against the Bills. Either him walking in to score or throwing a wide open touchdown pass. Brew himself highlighted it. Are we going to take that away from Patrick Mahomes' touchdown to interception ratio or total touchdowns? No, if you don't do that, then don't do it for Jalen Hurts. It's not that hard of a concept to grasp. It's not that difficult. I mean, Jalen Hurts has a higher completion percentage, more yards per attempt, higher passer rating, half the amount of interceptions, also uses his legs as well, way better than Patrick Mahomes at this point in their career. Listen, man, I'm not arguing that Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are equal. I'm not arguing that Jalen Hurts is better than Patrick Mahomes. I will take Patrick Mahomes over Jalen Hurts every single day. Every single day, and I won't even hesitate. Won't even be a second. You say, hey, who do you want, Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes. The moment you finish asking that question, Patrick Mahomes. But to do so in a way that constantly brings down Jalen Hurts is my issue. That is my issue. To try to act like all he does is benefit from tush pushes and he doesn't really throw the ball and this, that. It's just insanity. It really, really, really is. And it's just getting old. Right, you want to reduce his awesome performance in the Super Bowl to tush pushes. Okay, sure. So Jalen Hurts, who had 70 yards rushing on 15 carries, 4.7 yards per carry, where his running backs were doing nothing. 21 yards, 16 yards, 8 yards. Really? They were averaging 3 yards or less per carry. That's all tush pushes? He had 70 yards, so he just did 70 tush pushes? Huh, that's weird. He threw for 304 yards. But he doesn't get credit for that? Patrick Mahomes throws for 182? But he gets all the credit for that? Huh? That's weird. That doesn't make that doesn't make sense. Me confused. Me don't get. Me don't understand. It's just so absurd. It really is. It really, really is. It's just Jalen Hurts definitely has the ability. Because, right, I think it's fair to say Jalen is a star, not a superstar. I think if we're going to play this game of semantics, I think that's totally fair. Jalen Hurts is a star, not a superstar. Patrick Mahomes is a superstar. And I do fundamentally believe that Patrick Mahomes can do more with less than Jalen Hurts. Because, again, I believe that Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback. Like truly. Not even kind of like, well, let's look at win percentage and this. Like, I don't care about any of that, honestly. Patrick Mahomes is clearly a better quarterback. So do not get it twisted. Any of you Mahomes stands, like, just leave it. No one, I'm not arguing that Jalen Hurts is better. I'm not arguing that at all. I'm arguing at the constant downplaying and insults towards Jalen Hurts. The infantilizing of Jalen Hurts. Of trying to reduce his successes to just like tush pushes. Like that's all he does. That's insane. That's absurd. That's flat out wrong. Flat out wrong. I can't show you the video because the NFL can be tough with showing game, clips like this. This isn't a Super Bowl. The 2-point conversion that Jalen Hurts did where he just marched down the field to score the touchdown. And then look where he is. Is that a tush push for that 2-point conversion? We're just going to take that away from Jalen Hurts? We're just going to act like that wasn't a big time moment? Really? Really? That's what we're going to do? You see where he's about to be met? You see that? I mean, like, look at this. Look where he is. Is this just an easy walk-in 2-point conversion for him in a massive moment in this game? You tell me. where he's got to body his way through. Just dumb. It just is. It's just so absurd. Jalen Hurts has the ability. It is in his control. It is his destiny right now, where he can truly, if he balls out in this Super Bowl, and I'm not saying he will or he won't. I got no idea. Again, I've criticized Jalen Hurts. I've defended Jalen Hurts. I've praised Jalen Hurts. I've done everything. I'm not some Jalen Hurts homer. I'm not out here telling you that Jalen Hurts is the greatest quarterback ever, and oh my God, he's doubted all the time, and he's going to prove everyone wrong. I don't have any takes like that. I'm not out here telling you Jalen Hurts is going to dominate the Kansas City Chiefs. Just wait until Sunday. Just wait until Sunday. I don't have a single take like that. Not one. Not one. Not one. I have no idea how he will play on Sunday. I think it's going to be a tough game for him because of who the Kansas City Chiefs are and who Spags are. And Jalen Hurts has the ability to get rid of all those doubts. Even someone from me who's defended him and has praised him. For me to just be like, all right, you know what? You cannot take away how clutch Jalen Hurts is. Because he did step up in the Super Bowl. He did step up in the NFC Championship game. He has stepped up through these playoffs, every single game of this playoffs so far. Yes, even against the Packers, where he actually played a great game. He was smart, strategic with the ball, and took care of it. He did exactly what he needed to do. And he stepped up big in the Rams game. Yeah, he took a lot of sacks. Not good. Not good. Also was directly responsible for multiple touchdowns for the Philadelphia Eagles. He checked into the play for Saquon Barkley that set him up for that massive touchdown run. He took it to the house himself on a 40-plus yard touchdown run. Yeah, those things matter. Not to mention, if A.J. Brown can hold on to the ball, and if Devontae doesn't get his head knocked off, give him another passing touchdown and like another 100 yards passing. Probably pretty beneficial too, right? And then we already saw, obviously, what he recently did against the Washington Commanders. High-level football. Big-time fourth down conversions, throwing the ball. I don't understand why we can't have honest conversations about Jalen Hurts. I don't understand why you denigrate and bring down what Jalen Hurts has accomplished. But then when someone else does something that's kind of just like a play that you expect, it's the greatest play I've ever seen. Like Nick himself literally said that Patrick Mahomes, when he got like his feet tangled up and threw the ball as he was falling down to a wide open Travis Kelce, who was like 6 yards away from him in the end zone, was the greatest play. He said it was the greatest play ever. That's the greatest play. I got news for you. Virtually every single quarterback in the NFL these days can make that play. I guarantee you that it's harder for any quarterback to throw the ball like 30 yards down the field. Like, it's not even a shot on me down. I can make that play. I'm being honest. No, I am not good enough to be in the NFL. No, I'm not saying I'm as good as Patrick Mahomes, but I can make that play. Can I throw the ball 45 yards down the field with pinpoint accuracy? No. Definitely not now. Maybe before, when I was a little bit younger, more in my athletic prime, so to speak. Definitely not with a NFL level defensive line coming down me. No. But to say a play that we saw Jared Goff do, call that just let's not even talk about that play. But when Mahomes does a play that's even easier than what Jared Goff does, it's somehow the greatest play ever. And that anything that Jalen Hurts does is, it's a tush push. Please tell me how any of this makes logical sense. I want to know. You can't. Just absurd. Truly, truly, truly absurd. But like I said, and I'm going to talk about this in another video, it's all up to Jalen Hurts at this point. He is in the driver's seat to end all of this. If he can just prove, guys, I know you don't love my game. I know you think I play ugly. I know you think that I just rely on a good roster. Watch me in this Super Bowl. He has the ability to, if he doesn't play great, if he has some problems, if he turns the ball over, he doesn't step up, etc., makes some bad throws, yep, people will continue to doubt him. And to a degree, maybe rightfully so. but he is in the driver's seat right now. He has the control to completely change that narrative. And like I said, I have zero predictions. I have zero predictions in terms of what Jalen Hurts will or won't be able to do. His story is still being written. That's just the reality. That's just the reality. So I'm more of I just enjoy football. I'm not a homer rooting for a team or against a team. I'm just here to watch awesome football, great plays. That's why I try not to make constant predictions, because I have the knowledge and humility and awareness to know, like, I can't predict. I don't know what Jalen Hurts is going to do. I don't know what Mahomes is going to do. I have no idea. And I'm glad I don't know, because then it would be boring. Predictable games where we know most likely what the outcome is going to be, you skip those games. You skip those games. And that's not what this Super Bowl is. This is a non-skippable Super Bowl. So I'm excited. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jalen Hurts? Do you believe that he is indeed a star? Do you believe he's actually great? Do you believe, nah, not really. He just benefits from a good team, the tush push, etc., etc., etc. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.